Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Banana Peddler Show. My name is Banana Peddler, and today I'm joined by the director of Mwiki Good Academy group of schools from Kasarani. And today we are here to talk about the new programs, the new vernacular programs they have introduced in the syllabus. Now that kids are at home, everything is now online learning. Madam, welcome to the program.
Thank you,
First
Albert.
of all, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Roseanne Maina, and I am the director of Mwiki Good Academy. Mwiki Good Academy consists of 3 schools that we call MGA group of schools, and we have one in Kasarani called MGA School Kasarani, and another one called MGA School Kamulu.
Congratulations, you did very well, even especially the previous years. You've done very well actually, because you've topped in Kasarani.
Yes.
It is actually the best in Kasarani and the top 10 in Nairobi.
Yes.
According to what I've heard.
Yes.
And I also saw it.
Yes, we were actually number 3 in Nairobi.
In Nairobi?
Yes, in Nairobi. We've been either position 1 to number 3 for the last 3 years. So
that is great. That is great.
Yes.
And somebody cannot think that maybe a school from Kasarani can go to that to those heights as far as topping in Nairobi. Yeah. But anyway, tell us about the new programs that you are introducing, the new vernacular classes, mother tongue classes that you've, now that kids are at home and schools will be reopened in January next year.
That is very, very true, Albert. And everybody knows the situation that we have been in the course of this year due to the COVID-19 that came, and it was abrupt, unexpected, and we really just have had to adapt to new situations and circumstances as they've come along. And at the beginning, when the schools were closed, we didn't know for how long that would happen. So we went full blast to still continue teaching our children, and we started an online school, which we call MGA School Online, which have been teaching the normal syllabus lessons. And that has been something that has been working very, very well. However, in the month, at the beginning of this month of July, the CS for Education, Mr. Magoha, Professor Magoha, he announced that schools would only be open again next year, January, and children who had already attended classes would have to repeat their classes.
Yes.
That meant we had to change the kind of program we were learning to make it a little more flexible, and at the same time still deliver value to the children online. So that is when we introduced new programs that would add skills to the children that they probably didn't have, and one of them we thought would be very, very unique. Teaching our children who are living in Nairobi how to speak their mother tongue, because we recognize that Kenya has such deep languages, has such beautiful languages. Yet we are teaching our children even Chinese, we are teaching them French, whereas they cannot speak their mother tongue. So we thought we introduce a fun program where both parents and children would get to interact and learn their mother tongue.
So it cuts across?
Yes, it cuts across. Currently we are having 4 programs that are ready to roll as of beginning of August. One being Kikuyu, and then we have Luo, we also have Kamba, and we have Kisi. But as we continue, we are going to introduce more of our languages that are indigenous to Kenya.
I think that is interesting, because I also realized that we don't speak mother tongue at home, especially in my house. So it will be a good opportunity for parents to interact also with their children.
Yes.
Yes. And so far, when did you start it?
We are actually rolling the very first, initial lessons will begin on the 1st of August.
Oh, 1st of August.
So anyone who has not been able to join can join right now. And these classes are organized in such a way that it's a family program, so that if the family are Kikuyus, they can go online, and at 6 o'clock all the way to 8 o'clock, they can have words that are spoken in Kikuyu, they repeat together, and sentences that are spoken in Kikuyu, writing how Kikuyu is written, Luo how it's written, how it's spoken, and the family gets a together kind of a thing that will make them richer. And the reason we thought it was very, very important for families to engage in our languages is because we are Kenyans at the end of the day.
Yes,
We are
that's true.
Kenyans and we are Africans and we have our indigenous languages. Even as we go out there in the rest of the world and we can speak English, that can never really be our mother tongue. We need, and the children we are actually finding nowadays, they are so good in speaking in English, they are so good in speaking these other languages, but they can't speak their mother tongue. So even when that child goes to another country, they can only speak another language which is not their mother
They'll
tongue.
be lost completely.
Yes, they need to have an identity. And what gave for me that gave that thought too was when the movement in the world started, Black Lives Matter. So what is so unique about Black lives? It is the fact that we are different. It's the fact that we are Black. It's the fact that we have a culture that is different.
That we need to maintain.
Yes, so if our children are Black, yet they can only speak a white man's language, who are they in essence? Let them have a second language. They can say, this is my mother tongue, yet I can speak English as good as a white man.
Yeah, and what measures did you take? Perhaps these are online. These are online programs.
Yes, yes.
So what measures did you take to ensure that the people who prepared? I'm talking about the preparation of
The lessons.
the lessons. That you find the best people will give exactly.
Yes, we have found, because we are starting with beginners, and our program right now is actually directed towards children of between 4 years and 14 years of age.
All right. Yes.
And being that age, they want a lesson that is fun. So we have chosen teachers who can teach right from the lower levels of primary school or even in the kindergarten. Teachers who can interact with children and ensure that their lesson is not just a technical lesson. It is a lesson that is full of fun. There are songs, they will be taught proverbs, they'll be taught riddles, they will be told stories in Kikuyu, stories in Luo, and they will eventually just learn to enjoy the uniqueness of their culture. So the teachers we have are actually trained teachers who are teaching in primary school, and some of the very, very best, some of our best teachers are going to be in that program, and they are fluent in speaking these languages.
They are fluent in their languages.
Completely.
And this online, forget about now mother tongue, whatever. You started this online program sometimes back.
Yes.
How is it? How are kids responding? How is it? Is it really? Has it picked up?
Very well.
Do people like it? Because there are those who had challenges of maybe owning smartphones. Some of the kids are less privileged. So, what about them? Because how did you ensure Amasasa?
Personally, we and even as a school, we have really been encouraging parents to invest in the education of their children.
Yes.
And for one, the parents have not been paying school fees for the children in second term, nor will they pay in third term. I think buying a gadget, even if it's a small phone that is a smartphone that your child will use for about 5,000 or even 6,000, it's an investment in the knowledge of these children.
Yes.
Parents, we must realize, because I'm also a parent, that our children are not going to be ever in the world we lived in. As when we grew up, there were no smartphones, there were no phones. We had to walk miles to just get into a call box. But our children, their life is going to be based on their phone. So saying that you won't invest in a smartphone for your child is actually just not being very, very developmental conscious. It is not being very developmental conscious, because our phones have turned to be everything. They are our banks, we put money here. They are our cameras, and that is what the children need to interact with, so that, because the smartphone we are using today will not even be the smartphone the children will be using 20 years from now.
They'll be advanced.
It will be so much advanced. So even as a parent, just invest in your child. Asikuwe nyuma ya wengine anauliza na hapa unafanyanga aje.
Yeah. And also, Madam Director, I can't also go without asking, your school has been doing very well.
Yes.
But now that private schools, for example, now that schools are closed, private school teachers, people have been concerned about private school teachers. For government teachers, they are still paid.
Yes.
Although they are not working. Now, What about your teachers now?
Yes.
Is it true that maybe these private school teachers are just others, because they can't be paid without working?
Yes.
What do you do to ensure at least your teachers are comfortable? Because we understand that after this lockdown or this thing is over, most of the teachers will be free again, free agents. They'll go to other places.
I hope not. But as MGA schools, we have put a program in place to take care of our staff members. It's not comprehensive since we had a very large staff staffing. We had almost 100. We have almost 100. I would say we have 100 staff members in the three schools, and when of course we rely on school fees wholly to be able to meet the obligations of the teachers and the non-teaching staff. And what has helped us in a big way, because we still have almost 50% of our staff still being paid, although maybe half part
because
of
it's a burden to pay
everything.
There are so many, and
we are
not working.
Yes, we engaged on the online program and encouraged parents to pay a minimal amount. Actually, we are charging very little, because we are charging 2,000 a month, 3,000 a month for a child to be engaged a whole week. Those children are still doing exams. Those children, the teachers are still teaching them, preparing their lessons and all that. So basically, we are not. I don't think we are taking away from the parents. We are giving more value than actually what we are being paid. And that 3,000, 2,000 is being able to pay partially some of the teachers, not all, but some of them. And that ensures that we are going on. We've also started a program where anyone who is not on pay, we are giving them a package of food per month. Yes, we are giving them a package of food which they pick from their office, just to ensure that they have something to feed on. And we are encouraging them to bring on board more and more children, so that we can bring more back on the payroll. So basically, we've not let them run around. For our drivers, our cooks, we are encouraging them to develop their own things. Like, for example, our drivers are starting a chicken farm, so that they can be rearing chicken.
With your help?
Yes, with my help. So that they can start selling eggs and selling chicken, so that by January they are still able to meet some of their obligations. And actually, it will be
a blessing in disguise, because they'll be also having some side hustle. Yes. They call it side hustle.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is much better, because it's only government teachers who are paid.
Yes.
And it is
which
fair.
Is really not for schools. We were feeling the government needed to have considered because our teachers are on payroll. If they were offering packages to people who are living in the slums, they could also have offered some small, because it was not the doing of the directors or the parents, it was a situation that came. I think the government should have been a bit considerate on the private school teacher. But so far, we are hopeful that something will be done.
Yeah, but Madam Director, as we close, these kids now that how are it has appeared, it has come to to the limelight that it is teachers actually take care of these kids, because so far you saw the figures. So many kids have been impregnated outside there because they are idle. Because how do you feel as a teacher when you see such a thing, that the children you are taking care of have been befell by some of those, especially pregnant boys have started even robbing. You saw others are on the internet now abusing. It seems like when these people come back, they'll come back as different people.
Yes.
Now you'll have to, how do you intend to start maybe bringing them back to the system again, because they'll be somehow out?
Actually, let me say, education has gone through the worst blow that it could have ever done. A whole year out of classes for children, many of them, their lives will be spoiled for good. Many of them. Because there are those who have gotten pregnant, and probably even convincing the parents to take them back will be so difficult. So the life of the child has been totally disrupted. The others we have seen being sold off to 80-year-old men. their lives are totally disrupted because the parents can't see what's the benefit of keeping a girl child in the house, waiting for a school to open, which they don't know when it will open. The other boys who are now thieves, they will have mastered that skill, and they don't want to come and.
You saw others insulting the CS for.
Yeah.
There is a high school. One of them was a high school student.
Yes.
Insulting CS Matiang'i.
Imagine.
I think because of idleness.
Yes, and drunkardness. Our children are really drinking, especially the boy child. And it is very, very unfortunate. Those who are not drinking are engaging in on watching pornography. Others are watching the whole day. They are watching funny things. If a parent can afford that 2,000, that 2,000, please come to our MGA school online and engage your child. Because
can you give them? Do you have your phone number offered that maybe somebody can call if?
What probably we can do is that we can give them the website. They go website because they can engage online, and they will not need to probably call somebody.
Okay.
But our website is mgaschools.com. It's MGA School Online.
You know the good thing about internet, once you type MGA Schools Online, it will give you.
Zitafuata.
Yeah, zitafuata.
So just put MGA School Online and pay that 2,000. And I tell you, your child, you will never regret. We are teaching the mother tongue languages on top of the syllabus. We still teach the syllabus lessons, mathematics, English, social studies. For the CBC, we still teach the CBC lessons. That is grade 1, 2, and 3, and even the kindergarten. But we have an extra lesson on leadership, how a child can grow to be a leader. We have an extra lesson on finance. How can a child manage money? These are subjects that are not taught in the scale curriculum. We have an extra subject on music that you can pay for. And if you actually want us to provide for you a piano for your child in your house, we will deliver the piano to you. And the child will be taught by a teacher. Then we also have a program for art and craft that your child can be taught how to do, if that's their interest. We have all computer programs also, so that if your child is interested in going towards that line, we can start whetting their appetite. They get to know how to deal with computers. What is a computer? What is to be the hardware, the software, and all that. So a teacher will be there to engage with them. Just be willing to invest a little. People may be feeling it's a wasted year, but I think anything you invest on knowledge is never wasted. Even the Bible says, seek more knowledge, because when you seek wisdom, then you get to be in the next level. And there is nothing as big as seeking knowledge. So basically, I want to encourage parents, go to our MGA School Online and engage with us, and you'll never regret.
Finally, how many A's did you produce last year?
Oh, the A's were uncountable, but I can tell you about the 400s because we had.
Oh, how many 400? Sorry.
Yes.
That is what I meant to ask. How many 400?
We had 40 400s in a class of 70. So
40 400.
40 of them. We out of a class of 70, 40 students got 400, and only 30, and the lowest was actually 347.
The lowest.
The lowest child was at 347. We did not have a child below that. So when we say we teach, I mean we teach seriously, and we take our business very seriously of teaching children.
Yeah, you are reputed for your excellence, academic excellence.
Thank you.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was the director of Mwiki Good Hope Academy Group of Schools, MGA group of schools.
Yes.
All right.
Schools.
So see you again next time. My name is Banana Peddler.